My student this week saw one of those laminated cards that a different student had, and she thought that there was a bubble wand on it. So she was signing bubbles, and and I said, "No, that's not bubbles." Hey guys, welcome to the PandemicKnittr channel. I am Beth. I am here to talk about all of the fiber things that I have recently gotten into. My information for where to find me on the internet is up here, and I am a teacher's aide who works very part-time in the summer, and I like to make things for myself and my family members, and I haven't yet gotten into charity makes, but I feel like that's something I should kind of dive into a little bit. Anyhow, that's me in a nutshell. I will say, if you are so inclined, help me out. I have wanted to craft a little intro thing that I say on every episode that will help people understand who I am, what I'm about, and leave out the unnecessary things, but put in the things that people would want to know when they're being introduced to a new video. So if there's anything that you think would be helpful to include or entertaining, comment below. And I know you're probably not going to do that right now because you want to see the whole video and then comment afterwards. And by the time we get to the end, you're going to forget about it. So if I remember, I'll mention it at the end again. Other business we have today. I have been remiss on mentioning my knit along, which is a knit along being hosted by a large group of podcasters here on YouTube. So I am going to put up a list of the YouTubers maybe in front of my face while I talk about this. And just as a reminder, my personal hashtag is PKBuracal2023. The group hashtag for Instagram is Buracal, no, you know what? I'm going to put it on the screen because I don't know for sure. Is it Buracalcal 2023 or Buracal 2023? I don't know. It'll be on the screen. I don't want to give you the wrong information and then have you go and hashtag things all over the place and be wrong about it. But for my portion of things, I am doing quarterly giveaways for this, and that would be next Friday, would be the end of the second quarter. So I've already done my first quarter giveaway. I don't even know yet what my second quarter giveaway is, but I'll find something that you will like. It will be maybe a skein of yarn, maybe a couple of skeins. I don't know. I haven't looked at my stash to see what I want to fluff out of it. Speaking of which, oh wait, let me just, there's the cowl. And for me, whips count. If you are in the middle of it, if you have just bought the pattern, if you have just bought the yarn, Marie Wallen's Burra cowl is the one thing that I include. Some of the other podcasters include different things, so I recommend you check out their channels and see for yourself how you can participate. With that being said, I kind of dipped my toe into the fluff your stash thing. So if you're not aware, Stephanie of Texas Peach Knits is running a Fluff Your Stash mail, which is all about reorganizing and getting your stash together and getting rid of old things and making new things and things you want to keep more organized and whatever. But I recommend that you check her out here on YouTube to see details as well as on Instagram. So that's Stephanie of Texas Peach Knits. The other knit along that I wanted to mention I am so excited about this for Shark Week, which I don't remember the exact dates, but Politically Incorrect Knitters has put together a thing that they are doing, and it includes the peril of potential frogging. So I love this. The idea is you choose a project you're going to knit for the week, and then if you finish the project, you have got a finished object within the week. If you don't finish the object, the shark gets you and you have to frog it. So I love the peril of this. I'm going to participate. I keep kind of going back and forth with what I want to do for that week, but I'm going to come up with something. But the final details of their make-along has not been fully put out into the world. So Politically Incorrect Knitters, watch them on Instagram. I mean, not watch them on Instagram, look for them on Instagram and watch them here on YouTube for details on that. So with that out of the way, let's talk about what I am wearing. So I'm trying to make it so my bra straps don't show. I'm wearing a sports bra today with this because I didn't like the look of the tank top I put on underneath it, and I think it's the same one that I wore the last time I wore this. At any rate, this is my Streamline tank. It is a pattern by Alexandra Tavel of Two of Wands, and this is done in a Lion brand yarn. Let me look at my show notes because I wrote it here. Coboo is the name of the yarn, and it is a blend of cotton and bamboo, and it is a really nice soft yarn. It's cool to the touch. I want to say it's a DK weight. I don't remember now because it's been a long time since I've done this, but it definitely looks like DK, if not worsted. I don't know. Anyway, I have blocked this like I would a wool knit. I just soak it with wool wash and lay it out to dry. I kind of think you can dry this, but I don't remember for sure. I would have to look at the yarn label again. And at any rate, I love this tank. I think it's got, like, I love the detail that comes down the middle. And it goes up the sides too. Oops, I kicked the table leg. Sorry, you guys. I'm bouncing. All right. I also like the detail going up the side here. That's the same detail as they have down the middle and the front. Now, if I were to do this again, I think I would cinch in the sides here a little bit more. I think this is actually, there's like a corner that you kind of knit to here. You make a corner with your knitting, and that's why I stopped where I did. But I was thinking I should probably do like a fix thing, like maybe take a week of my summer and just take things that I don't like all the final details of, take them apart and fix them, because it's not like that's another detail that I don't like. It kind of like gets wider where I joined it at the shoulder, and it would be an easy fix. Take it apart, figure out how to sew it together so that's not like coming out the sides, and done. Anyhow, I have other things like that that I think would be nice to do that with. So that's my only, well, I guess my only finished object, because I finished it a year ago. But I have nothing else that I have completed over the week, but I have been knitting quite a bit. So I do have a lot of whips. So firstly, I showed this last week, and I'm only showing the top because it's part of the set, but this is the Seaside set by Petite Knit. And it is being knit in Knitty McPurly Frankfurt fingering yarn. And I have the pants that go with this set. Look at this, you guys. It's the little top of pants, and okay, you know what? I don't know that it's going to show all that well on the screen. So the back is longer. It's just short rows to lengthen it. But the waistband has elastic in it, and I have not like sewn that closed at all. As I'm knitting this week, I have been feeling how this feels and thinking, I would like that on my body. That feels like it would be very comfortable. I mean, if I got the right size, you know, obviously I can't wear this. But if I got the right size, I think it would be fun to wear this fabric. Now, in the Knitty McPurly Frankfurt fingering yarn, for some reason, this colorway, this is the Black Forest Cake colorway. I feel like this feels almost like furrier than this yellow, the Bosc colorway. And I don't know why that is. Like, does color actually affect the feel of the yarn? Because this feels just, well, it feels like a knit fingering weight thing, like what I'm used to in all my socks. And this colorway feels different. So, and I thought, well, maybe did I get a different base and didn't realize it? But I looked at my ball band and it is the same base. So for whatever reason, this just has a nice furry feel to it. And I feel like this would make a good pair of sweatpants. So I gotta look for something and maybe buy a sweatpants quantity of this yarn. We'll see if that ever happens. I love the feel of this. This is one lucky baby who's gonna get these pants, because they're gonna feel like, oh, these pants are so cozy. And that is going to be given to my niece's daughter. My student this week saw one of those laminated cards that a different student had, and she thought that there was a bubble wand on it. So she was signing bubbles, and I said, no, that's not bubbles. So what I did is I went and found the nail polish that this other student had, and I took it out and I unscrewed the lid, and just to show her exactly what it was, I polished my nail. Well, I knew this before I went there, but I do not have any nail polish remover. So now I have to go buy nail polish remover to take off the one nail's worth of nail polish that I put on. Either that, or I could polish the other 9 nails to match. Actually, I didn't even fully polish this one. I did just enough so that she could see what it does. But she was like, the first thing she did when she saw me doing it was, don't want. And I was like, okay, yeah, I wasn't gonna put it on you. Anyhow, so that's my weird thumbnail story. Next whip, I have Slipdream. I've sort of intermittently been working on, not as much as my other shawl. Slipdream is by Monica Wesley. And this is done in Expression Fiber Arts Amalie fingering. And details on that are below. And this is where I am in my progress. That's my favorite part right there. And this stripey section right here, that is what is coming up next on my needles. So you see this where I started right here. So I just barely started the next, she calls it honeycomb something. So it's got this gorgeous texture to it, that I had no idea that all these stripes were going to have this texture. So I'm delighted to be knitting this. It's fun to go through, and I can't wait to get it done. But here's the thing. For those of you who regularly knit shawls, I admire your stick-to-itiveness on this, because each row gets just longer and longer and longer when you do these triangular shawls. And I've got a crescent shawl that I'm about to show too. And same thing. And when you get to those really long rows, I don't know if I'm just anxious or if they're just, maybe it's because there's so many more stitches than you ever see in a round of sweater knitting that I'm like, all right, enough. So, I'm only like halfway through this thing. So I think when I get to those end rows, I'm going to be like, okay, the delight this once was is no longer delightful. This one is Budding Brioche Blooms by Jennifer Shiels Toland. And it is being knit in Expression Fiber Arts Frontier Fingering. And this has, I didn't write down what the yarn blend is. I don't think I have, no, the ball bands are not in the bag. What did I do with all the ball bands? Usually I keep those. I don't throw them away. I like to keep them around until I'm at least, I like to put them with their leftovers so that I know exactly what I have. So I don't know where the ball bands are. Anyhow, this is my Budding Brioche Blooms, and this is my foray into brioche, and it has just the right amount of brioche practice in between garter rounds to keep it interesting as well as manageable for someone who is new to knitting brioche. So I highly recommend this as a new to brioche person. I have not gotten to the final edge yet, so after that I might be saying this was not a good idea. But last week or the week before, I don't remember, I was talking about how I had just started this section. I was maybe 2 rows into this brioche section, and I had a problem that I tried to fix. And as I tried to fix it, I just realized I don't know how to read brioche yet. So I frogged the whole brioche section and went back a row or 2 into the garter and restarted from there. So hope I'm doing it right. But if it's wrong, who's gonna know? I will. And you will. But I don't think looking at it, anybody would go, oh, you missed a row or you missed a stitch. I don't think so. The other thing I have been moving along on is The Knitter's Dude by Andrea Rangel. And I want to show, well, you'll see it up here. I was going to say I want to show a picture of what it looks like. You guys will see it. So this is what I have so far. 2 sleeves. these are so fun. Like this zigzag thingy, I had to go up 2 needle sizes to get the right gauge to match my stockinette stitch. So I don't know if that's common in color work, that people need to go up that much, but I do. So I wish I had known that when I did my Nomad tee last year. And this is for my son Brandon. I took a picture and sent it to him on Father's Day so that he could see how far I've gotten on this, and I'm excited to give it to him. But not until it's finished. So that is all of the progress I have made this week. I have not touched any of the 3 pairs of socks that I'm still working on. I have no new to me things, despite the fact that I have ordered quite a bit. I kind of went on a little bit of a spending spree last weekend where, well, not just last weekend. There are at least 2 pre-orders that I ordered. And there was another thing that I ordered, and I can't remember what it was. But I ordered from Carista at Wyoming Yarn, and I swear to you, this was not like some sort of drunken thing. It's just, I know I was perusing through her website and I was like, oh, I like this. Oh, I like that. Oh, I want this. And I don't remember what I decided on. And I don't have a confirmation email or anything. So I'm like, what did I get? Because I saw it. At some point, I started thinking, oh, maybe I didn't order anything. But then I looked at my bank account and I saw a charge from my bank account. So I'm like, I did order something. Did she have pre-orders? What did I do? So I emailed her yesterday saying, what did I do? I don't remember. That seems really bad. But what I was very excited after watching her last episode. So okay, Carista's, I'm going to put it on the screen because I'm not sure what, is it Sweet Mountain Crafts? She also has a podcast, which is worth watching. So anyway, on to my next segment, the comments. So I had a couple of new commenters last week. So I want to talk about them first because I want to thank new commenters for commenting on my video. I appreciate that. So Olia said, glad to see you're swatching for a design by Irina and Anikeeva. I did not talk about that this episode because I think I did do my next swatch on that one. I can talk about that a little bit more right now. Lionshead top by Irina and Anikeeva, and I have gauge swatched multiple times. So I showed all of these last week. Now, what I wanted to do that I didn't do before is to gauge swatch in the recommended needle size. So I have done that, and it's hard to like really show it because I feel like when I show it, I kind of stretch it out. So it's hard to show what the natural fabric is on the camera unless I did maybe like a top-down view. But the way it falls out of my hand, the way it lays naturally, how do I do this? Okay, I'm just gonna hold it like this. This fabric, I feel like, has a nice crisp look to the texture. So this is the size 2.5 that I initially did it in. And the reason I did that is because I was not getting gauge in a size 3 when I started in stockinette. So I moved down to a 2.5 to try to get gauge in that. Now, this is giving me a fabric I like. So because I wasn't getting gauge in the pattern part, I moved up to a size 4 and a size 5. These ones, I'm going to show the size 5 one nice and close, because that shows you how, in my opinion, how wonky the stitches are. They're not as, and they're just not as crisp and clean as they are in the 2.5 US 2.5 needle. So I also did it in a size 3 to see if I could get closer to gauge with the size 3 needle. And I do like this fabric. I don't dislike it. There's some like holiness to it though, that in the 2.5 I don't have that. And this is the yarn is a bamboo silk wool blend, and it's a nice light yarn. I mean, this is a very lightweight fabric that I'm getting, so I feel like I am going to ultimately like the look of the size 2.5 needle after challenging myself to one after another of these. So I had decided that last week without knitting the size 3 or knitting with the size 3 needle, but I decided I should try what the designer recommends and see what I think about that. And I am left with the same answer that I had before I tried doing that. Now, what this leads me to is, am I going to have enough yarn to do that? I bought 3 skeins of this. There's 390 yards per skein. And so last episode, what I talked about is that I was going to do it based on what I saw in the projects online and how many repeats of that pattern the projects had. The pattern says you need 1,300 yards of yarn for this project in that size. Because what I had done is I decided I will go up to the large size. However, that's not going to give me that width around. The large size on this is 48 inches, but by my calculations of the gauge I'm getting, I will get a 40-inch bust. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to use less than the 1,300 yards that are required for the large size. I'm hoping I am correct about that. I don't know if there's any formula for this. If anybody knows about a formula, can you let me know? Comment below, email me, whatever. Well, no, I'll put it up here, my email. Because I know the pattern's here. Anyhow, yes, if you know any formula for how much yardage you use of yarn based on the size of needle you use or whatever, I would be grateful to know that before diving into a project that I'm not going to have enough yarn for. Because I'm calling it close, especially since I've already used a whole bunch of that in gauge swatches, which I know I can wash the gauge swatches and use them in the pattern if I need to. So we'll see. I'm pretty confident that I'm not going to use the number of yards of yarn for the size of the project that I decided on, just because I know that it is going to be smaller around. And my size, my original one that I had chosen, would use 1,070 yards. So I think I'm in the clear with that. I don't know. I guess I'll find out, right? So I need to cast it on, stop talking about it, and do it. Which brings me to the comments, because a new commenter showed up this week. Olia said, glad to see you're swatching for a design by Irina Anikeeva. She is a very talented designer and her patterns are always very well written. I had a privilege to test knit for her a while back and was always happy with her pattern writing and design aesthetic. Can't wait to see how your tea will turn out. Thank you, Olia. So, what I said to her is, I'm excited to cast on the project. It's good to hear from someone who's familiar with her work and thinks highly of her. So, yes, it's good to know that I have a connection with somebody who has experience knitting the patterns by this designer and is recommending her. So thank you, Olia. Another new commenter, but apparently regular viewer, is Sarah. Sarah said, hi Beth, you are a delight. Thank you. I watch a lot of YouTube on 1.5x speed to get more in. And I'm sure, like many others, I have complete dialogue in my head with the person on the screen. Yes, exactly. That's what I do too. Every once in a while, somebody will be like, what's that called? Or what was that pattern? And I'm like yelling at the screen, it's this one. So yes, I'm with you on that, Sarah. I often think about stopping to type out a comment, but then I tell myself to wait in case something else comes up that I want to comment on, and I should just do it at the end. I do the same thing because I'm watching on my TV and I'm not right there, on the internet. It's on my smart TV, so I'm not even at a keyboard. She says, by the time I get to the end, I've either forgotten what I wanted to mention or it seems unimportant by that time. Yes, many times, always. I like what you said last week about making a community with interaction, and I've been trying to be better about commenting on lots of videos, but it's a struggle. Yes, it is. Agreed. If I keep working on it, eventually it'll just be natural, right? Agreed. I'm trying to do the same thing because I feel like my natural tendency is to be a lurker. I read everything on Instagram, I watch everything on YouTube, but rarely do I ever make the effort to comment. In fact, with YouTube, I almost never click the like button. And that's something I can do with my remote on my TV. I can just go to the thumbs up and hit the OK button. But I always forget about that. So right now, friends, click that like button if you like what you're seeing, if you want more of it, if you want me to get out there more and have other people see me. Like, comment, subscribe, etc. And if you feel like you'd like to comment, please do so. But also know, I hold nothing against you for not commenting. I would like more feedback. That's all. It's strictly, oh, my mom is calling. It's strictly a personal preference. I'll call you back, Mom. Okay, next one. Susan Smith of Delightful Works said, fun episode, Beth. Okay, I'm going to go back. I had talked about my glasses that I have all over the house. So a couple of people commented about the glasses. A few, I don't know. Anyhow, Susan was one of them. She said, my husband has about 20 pairs of reading glasses all over the place. This sounds like a wife who's annoyed with her husband's glasses habits. Shh, don't tell him. So far, I've been able to avoid them because when I had LASIK surgery, the doctor gave me monovision, so one eye sees close and one eye sees far. It took a while for my brain to adjust, but I'm really glad that I'm not always searching for glasses. I would love to do that surgery, but at the same time, that's frightening. Because what if they did something irreversible and you never saw again? Anyhow, that's my personal fear, but I'm glad it worked for you, Susan. That sounds awesome. Like, my husband, when I first met him, he used to talk about wanting to get LASIK surgery, and he hasn't talked about it anytime recently. But he didn't seem to have that whole fear about losing his vision. I wonder how he feels now. We'll have to talk about that. Wendy said, oh, I use wool of the Andes for a winter ranunculus. That's interesting. Winter ranunculus, wool of the Andes. Wool of the Andes is very thick. It's Peruvian wool, and it's a non-superwash. So, yeah, I was talking last week about how it feels like it'd be fine against your skin. So she says, I wear it next to my skin with no issues. As for the craft room glasses, I have specific glasses that stay in the respective spot/room. Silly, I know. Yes, we don't know what we don't know. Don't sweat it. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, Wendy. So Wendy went through like my video and just commented on everything. I wonder if Wendy had the screen up and was just typing as things came up. Because it does sound like she kind of went through and just commented on each part. So good for you, Wendy. Way to comment. I love it. All right. And winter ranunculus, because ranunculus is supposed to be like that, a light kind of lacy sweater. So that sounds really nice. Okay. Selfish Knitter says, I love the sunflower buttons, and I would not have thought about the edges either. I wonder if they could have been encased in clear, if they could be encased in clear resin to smooth the edges but retain the appearance. This is not a skill in my wheelhouse. I'm definitely armchairing this one. Yeah, yeah. Not gonna go there with the buttons. If the sunflower buttons don't work out, I will just get different buttons. Oh, that is for this sweater. Because it's going to a girl, I wanted to make it more girly, and I have these cute little sunflower buttons, but they don't fit through the buttonholes because of their jagged edges. Actually, I think even without the jagged edges, if I put them in clear resin, they'd be even bigger. They might be able to get through more easily if they were fully round. I don't know, but they would be even bigger, and I think that might still make them impossible to get through unless I order a different size, and then maybe that will work, but not going there. Personally, I've fallen a couple weeks behind on the podcasts I normally watch because the weather has been nicer and there have been more events getting me out of the house on weekend mornings. That was the situation with me too. In fact, last week as I was watching podcasts, I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed because I was like, You guys keep releasing more and I haven't watched the old ones. Come on. Give me a cold, rainy weekend with nothing on the calendar and I'll be all caught up again. Yep. That's what I needed. Right now, my issue is, I don't know if you're hearing my nasally sound, but there's something in the air that I am like horribly allergic to. And every time yesterday that I went outside, I came in and had to run for the Kleenex box. It was that bad. Like, and I was not out for long periods of time. It was like, you know, walk from the car to the school and, you know, walk from the school to the bus, that kind of stuff. But it really got me. By the time I got home yesterday, I stopped on my way home to fill up my car with gas, and gas prices, are you kidding me? Anyhow, I stopped to fill up with gas, and I actually had thought as I was driving, maybe I can make it a little longer with the gas I have already, because I don't want to stand outside in whatever this pollen or whatever is out there, because it's going to make me that much worse. But I did fill up anyway because I thought prices are only going to get even higher as we approach the 4th of July, which is sort of the height of the travel here in the US. And so I stopped for it. My nasal passages paid for it. So that's why I'm not outside. So I'm inside knitting because this is not happy. Now, Sharon also weighed in on the glasses. She said, I have one pair of glasses that never leave my face. That must be nice. Although, at the same time, maybe that's annoying. Because I know, like, with this recent congestion issue, I don't like to blow my nose with glasses on. So I take my glasses off, I blow my nose, I put my glasses back on and knit. So I wonder how that is for you. Maybe you've gotten used to it and you just blow your nose with your glasses on your face. She said, one time when my progressives were basically no correction at the reading distance, I tried single vision lenses and took them off to read. That lasted 2 days. I can understand why, like, it's such a hassle doing different things with glasses. Like, why can't our eyes just work? I couldn't write a check at the grocery store. This was before debit cards, she says, without taking them off. Wait, I couldn't write a check at the grocery store without taking them off. Then couldn't write with glasses in my hands. So she's standing at the grocery checkout going, oh, I can't see. And then she takes them off and she's got glasses in her hands. So now she can't write. Love it. Oh my gosh. At church, I couldn't read the hymn book and look up at the front. Monday morning, I went back and got my progressives again. Now I have progressed to needing correction all through the progressive lenses, and they're just part of my face. My husband couldn't adjust to progressives, so he takes his glasses off to read and often can't find them. This next sentence, you guys. One time they were on the roof where he took them off to look close at something. I feel like I need to know more about that story. When did you find them? How long did it take? When did you realize they were... Wow, okay. I think if I ever don't need glasses for distance, but still need something for reading, like after some future cataract surgery, I'll still wear glasses. Yeah, when you feel like your glasses are just part of you, I can totally see that. I mean, there are things that like it's like, this is sad, but going without your phone. Have you ever walked out the door and been like, oh wait, I don't have my phone. I can't be without that for a day. Even though there's nothing specific. You don't have any phone calls you need to make, any texts you feel the need to make, any texts or phone calls that you're expecting to come to you. You just would feel uncomfortable without your phone. Same. It's a bad thing, you guys. We need to figure out how to detach ourselves from our phones. Glasses, on the other hand, part of your body, you need them, so be it, and you get used to it. So I'm happy for you that you have that as a comfort thing in your life, and hopefully nothing ever changes that too much for you. All right, last comment I'm gonna read. Stephanie of Texas Peach Knits said, I can so relate to you overanalyzing why or why not people comment, with a laughing face. And yeah, absolutely. Like every episode, I'm like, did I do something wrong? Why aren't people watching? Should I change the thumbnail? What's going on? Did I do something that people didn't like within the first however many seconds, because now YouTube gives you that preview? Overanalyzing. I just need to relax and know the people who like me will come back. The people who aren't interested in what I have to say or talk about, that really is the same thing. They'll just stay away. And I hope people, I mean, I will say this. As the week went on and the comments came in this week, I was comforted by the fact that I do have a group of people who enjoy watching my videos. I do have a community here, and they're a very supportive community. And I appreciate every single one of you for watching me, for who you are, and even if you don't watch me and decide that I'm not your cup of tea, I wish you well. So thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Please remember, help me out with my intro. That's where you can comment below. But also, like, subscribe, survive, and thrive. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.